Hi, welcome to the Why Would You Think That podcast. This is our debut podcast.
Episode 1, baby.
My name is Zach Beckwith. We have Justin Faulkner and Jake Slade along with us for the ride.
Let's go.
We're going to be breaking down NFL Divisional weekends, breaking down the matchups for the conference championships, and who made the right coaching hire potentially in the NFL. All this next. All right, so let's start off with, I think, the most impressive win of the... Well, not the most impressive, I shouldn't say that. San Francisco versus Minnesota. If you look at it, both quarterbacks really didn't have a lot of yards. Minnesota's really only play on offense was the big throw to Stephon Diggs on like the third corner of San Francisco. I don't know. Niners running game really took the air out of it for Minnesota. They just couldn't do anything. I mean, San Francisco's front four is scary. You have 5 first-round picks potentially you can swap in. You have Dee Ford. You have Nick Bosa, who should be Defensive Player of the Year. You have Solomon Thomas. You have Eric Armstead. And I cannot remember the other defensive tackle they have, who was also a first-round pick. It's ridiculous. I mean...
Yeah, the entire team is talented.
It's stacked.
I definitely wouldn't say most impressive.
No, I want to correct
I would
myself.
probably say
we will
least
bring them up shortly.
impressive. That was like the most expected beatdown of the week.
Correct.
That whole team is... Everyone on that team is... There's not a single weak spot in that entire roster. I mean, I wouldn't want to play them.
And, I mean, Dalvin Cook got nothing. I think they rushed him like 12 times. They got like 20 total yards. Couldn't get it going. Kirk Cousins thrives when Cook is going. Here's the other thing that was really impressive. Early third quarter, the San Francisco is up 24-10. They run the ball 13 straight times between 2 drives. Here's the first drive. 4 yards, 6 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, 11 yards, 2-yard touchdown. That's already 8 straight times. Next drive, 6 yards, 3 yards, no yards, punt it. Minnesota muffs the punt, they get the ball back. It's really impressive. Their offensive line is ridiculous. Defensive line's ridiculous. I mean, you have a 4-headed monster at running back with Coleman, Mostert, Breida, and I cannot remember the running back's name.
He was killing it last week though. He was getting it done. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Justin, what do you think about the Niners?
What do you think about San Francisco?
That team.
I don't know.
Whose name I did not
Minnesota
just
for
say.
that matter, who just got bounced.
Yeah, I really feel like San Francisco was going to win that game regardless. I felt like Minnesota should have put up a better fight given the fact that they've had a really solid defense the last couple of years, and this year they were also have a great defense. But
they played well.
They did, but that San Francisco defense is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's the best defense in the league. I feel like that should be uncontested at this point. You could maybe give like New England's defense, but San Francisco.
New England's defense
Yes.
got trampled. I don't know. That might have lowered them a few spots in my book.
In the playoffs, no. But
Yeah.
as a whole, San Francisco is a better team because San Francisco's offense is better.
Yeah.
So
Hot takes with Justin Faulkner.
that is
That
definitely
is not a hot
the
take.
other
That is
thing.
the coldest
cold-
take that you ever said.
not really.
Well, here's the other thing. If Jimmy Garoppolo throws the ball to your team, you need to take advantage of it. Jimmy Garoppolo could have had 3 interceptions, only had 1 because Vikings defensive backs couldn't catch a goddamn thing.
I mean Minnesota's.
Minnesota's, yeah. And
So-
Jimmy Garoppolo had 1 interception, should have had 3. If he throws it to your team, and the Minnesota only cashed it in with a field goal. They can't. I mean, they didn't even cash the interception in with a touchdown. It was a field goal, and it was a long field goal. Any other thoughts on this? I mean, this was really not a very exciting game.
I didn't really get to watch a lot of it.
I know it wasn't very exciting.
I was driving.
Yeah.
for
It was
the
fun
majority of it,
early. Kirk to Diggs. That was the highlight of their offense. Niners just ran the hell out of the ball. I mean,
San
Garoppolo only had 130 yards passing. Cousins only had 172.
Yeah,
It's not exciting.
not much.
To be honest with you.
Not much to.
I mean, I always
much to talk
appreciate
about.
a good defensive game, no matter what sport it is.
I do as well.
But when the offense is so
bad.
sloppy,
Yeah.
it's not even a
It
fun
ruins the
game to
product.
watch. The defense could be amazing, but if the offense doesn't at least try to do something that's great, then the fact that the defense is good is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because if the offense is that terrible that any regular defense can just crap all over them, there's absolutely no reason to watch that game, in my opinion.
All right, well, let's move on to Tennessee at Baltimore. Who wants to kick it off? Because I don't want to suck all the air out of it.
I feel like Jake is very disappointed about this.
What?
You might be.
I was not disappointed at all. That was a very fun game to watch. I did love Baltimore going into the playoffs. I loved watching Lamar Jackson play. But, god damn, Derrick Henry is a beast. I love seeing a power back who's getting it done. He's just killing it. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone be as productive at running back specifically as a power back. Marshawn.
But he didn't have these numbers.
Right. Yeah, it like
That's
that
what's
exactly.
crazy.
Marshawn, and I mean he was great. Don't get me wrong, he was a lot of fun to watch. I don't know if he can match up to Derrick Henry right now.
I mean, he set the all-time record for yards in the first two playoff games, or two consecutive playoff games,
and the rushing title.
Yeah, and the league rushing title.
Mm-hmm.
And he's unstoppable. I don't like.
And then you add the fact that Russell Wilson can pretty much make any receiver into a star, which is how great he is at finding players to add to that Seattle team.
But
Derrick Henry's on Tennessee.
I was referring to the Marshawn Lynch part.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Better.
Better. Yeah.
Let me see. Lamar, I would have loved to see a Baltimore Kansas City AFC title game.
That would have been a very large shootout.
Yeah, it would have been a lot of fun to watch.
I'm pretty sure that would have gone over 100 points combined.
I'd love to see Kansas City. Oh, look at this. We got a transition here. Oh boy. But I'd love to see Kansas City. Yeah, I know. I'd love to see Kansas City play in the Super Bowl. I'd love to see my boy Pat Mahomes get a Super Bowl, but I don't know if they're going to be able to stop Derrick Henry.
I have a ton of stats for you.
Go ahead.
All right, so first of all, this can also lead into our transition, but we're going to try and cover the rest of the divisional games. Oh, we can lead into the next game.
Yeah.
So, Ryan Tannehill threw 8 quarters of NFL playoff football, 160 passing yards. Pat Mahomes in the second quarter when they were making their comeback
had over
120 yards passing. That is
only 120.
Well,
it's a quarter.
But they had.
Oh, I know, but he put up 4 touchdowns.
I know, but Houston muffed a punt, which set him up deep. They had a kickoff return that put him at midfield, but still. So this is really the key to me. Lamar couldn't throw himself back into the game. Now, I do want to say, and I heard this a bunch from people I know, Lamar finished with 350 passing yards and 150 rushing yards. I don't care. They were garbage yards. That was the quietest 500-yard performance by a quarterback in total yards I have ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't even know what happened.
That was ridiculous, and I don't want to hear it. Here are Baltimore's drives.
I watched the game. I didn't even notice that happened.
Here are Baltimore's drives. Their drives ended at the Tennessee 36, Tennessee 41, Tennessee 4, Tennessee 18, Tennessee 31, Tennessee 15, Tennessee 16, Tennessee 21. They had 12 points. If you just kick a field goal each time, you have 24 points. And you are within, I don't know.
At least
you don't score a touchdown, you go for it. The 4th and 1 debacle where Lamar tries to keep it, then tries to bounce outside where he's got a safety and a linebacker ready to take his head off. I don't know what that was when he had a wide open center gap, but he wants to make like a Heisman-type play. That was ridiculous. I don't know. Derrick Henry got fed the ball. He turned Earl Thomas around, who made one of the dumbest comments you can make before a game. oh, New England wasn't interested in tackling him. We have a better game plan where it looked, and the photo that's gone viral looks like Earl Thomas is trying to help block for Derrick Henry. He doesn't even know where the guy is.
Yes.
Kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's really ridiculous,
It
I'll
is.
be dead honest.
I
A safety
completely
who's
agree.
like a half a size of Derrick Henry goes out and is like, well, you know, we're gonna shut this guy down. I'm sure. Yeah, that worked out great.
I don't
for
know.
you.
I love watching
fun
the Titans
watching.
play. I think Kansas City, Tennessee is going to be a lot better of a game than people think it's going to be.
Oh, I agree. All right, let's go to Kansas City against Houston. All right, so I just got to say this, and nobody else is wanting to say this, and I feel like this is a hot take. That was the phoniest 24-point lead I've ever seen. Let me diagram how this happens. All right, the first touchdown, hey, somebody's got to make the throw, but Kenny Stills is wide open because the two defensive backs covering him ran into each other and fell down. That's the first touchdown.
All right.
Second touchdown was a blocked punt for a touchdown. That doesn't happen very often. The third touchdown was set up by Tyreek Hill muffing a punt, and they set him up at the 5-yard line. Got a touchdown, and then the next drive they go down and they kick a field goal on a disaster of its own that I will address maybe in a little bit. Kansas City scores 28 points in 9.5 minutes of real time, not football time. Real time, which equates to a little less than 4 minutes of game time. That is ridiculous. I don't know. I don't want to suck all the air. Anybody else? I mean, the Chiefs Kansas City goes on a 51-7 run. This isn't college football where it's
Ridiculous.
Alabama against.
You can't say
Citadel.
Alabama didn't even make the college football playoffs.
Well, but
this
like
season.
in years past, like Alabama would be down like 10 to like some nobody, and they go on a 60-3 run.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean-
at the beginning of the season where their opening game, they scored over 60 points.
Right.
And the other team, I don't even think cracked double digits.
And this is the NFL going on a 51-7 run. I mean, I don't know what the game plan was for Houston, where they don't even give Carlos Hyde the ball until the third quarter. Once you go up 24-0, the hell is that?
Pat Mahomes, though,
Oh, he's ridiculous.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone who's as fun to watch as Pat Mahomes.
Not even Lamar?
No,
Ah,
not
so you
even
got-
close. I like watching a passing running back, and I loved watching Lamar, but
You don't like watching a running back
Dude.
playing quarterback, which is what Lamar is.
Gosh.
no, because Lamar can throw too. Lamar, not in that playoff game, but
Well, apparently he did because he had 350 yards passing.
I mean, even
they
that.
still didn't win the game, so it doesn't.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
irrelevant.
Like
Yeah,
that was Jesus Christ. Pat Mahomes is something special.
he is. And I can't wait to see what his next payday is because he's going to get at least like $40 million a year.
For sure.
Which I don't know how that's going to affect his supporting cast, but nobody really gives a crap about that in the world of sports. So, one other thing, Bill O'Brien, I want to help you. All right, let me do you a kindness. All right, when you're up 21-0 and you want to go for the throat punch like you did, have a play call ready to go for it on 4th and 1. Because you were visibly upset on the sidelines. It is 4th and 1, and you have Deshaun Watson. I don't give a damn. Send a signal in, do something, and let him work with it. Don't let the play clock expire. Don't waste 2 timeouts within 2 plays and kick a field goal to go up 24-0. And then, even if you think, all right, we're all right, the Chiefs go down and score a touchdown. You're in punt formation, right? It is 24-7, deep in your own territory. If you're going to fake it, do it with a little bit more of, I don't know, creativity.
Finesse.
You generally, when you go for a fake punt, you get in formation and you snap it quickly, right?
Yes.
They took damn near all 40 seconds of the play clock, and it allowed the Chiefs to move in from their original formation. It's almost like they diagrammed it for the Chiefs to figure it out.
I don't know why at that point, if they had realized that they had moved in, why they would just abandon that fake play call and just try to at least kick it out of bounds.
Why not?
And
Well,
just to prevent a return.
they would have wasted their last timeout because they blew too early. But take a timeout and just punt it. And I understand the Chiefs probably still would have came back. I get all of it. But when you want to be aggressive, which I applaud, have some wits about you. I don't know. That really chapped me.
I don't chapped K20s. 1920s.
I don't know. That made me really mad because the game management was atrocious for these guys who get paid a bunch of money, and I'm just an idiot college student who knows better.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a waste of it's the waste of the talent they have in Deshaun Watson. I've seen that kid make throws. I think switch their situations. Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes would be almost the same as they are now.
I mean, yeah.
You know what Deshaun Watson would be Pat Mahomes at Kansas City. Pat Mahomes would be Deshaun Watson in Houston. I think they're almost identical.
Both teams
players
have great weapons.
Very
it's
different.
Not about,
Well, yeah, but one has a, relatively incompetent coaching staff, horrible offensive line.
That offensive line is something.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I've never seen someone get hit like that and still manage to look like a good quarterback. When Stafford didn't have an offensive line at all, he didn't look good at all whatsoever. When,
Yeah, I want to say something else. So back to my Carlos Hyde point. Okay, so the Houston beat Kansas City early in the regular season, right? They ran the hell out of Carlos Hyde. So when you're up 24-0 and let's say you try and take some air out of the ball, go on a 7-minute drive, Kansas City didn't have their best defensive tackle, who statistically when he's in the lineup, they give up 70 yards per game rushing. Without, they give up almost 160 yards rushing per game. Chris Jones, who's excellent and I think is great, was not in the game. Why not try and run the ball a little more? I don't know. Maybe you panicked. I think they panicked. Honestly, I think they realized, hey, we're up 24-7. We gotta try and shoot for 50 or 40, which they didn't do, but the opponent did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Why not stay a little more patient with the run game? I mean, I'm not saying you have to go run, pass, but like...
Are they re-signing Bill O'Brien?
Well, Deshaun Watson stuck up for him in the post-game press conference.
Really? Someone waste your career and you stick up for him? I don't know.
And he's also been the acting general manager, too. Because he's the one who made the trade to get Stills, their left tackle, Tunsil.
Laramie Tunsil.
Both were from Miami. They traded to get Carlos Hyde in the offseason from Kansas City.
That might be the problem. He might just have too much on his shoulders right now.
There have been plenty of examples of coaches who've had GM responsibilities who just can't do both.
Yeah, and that could be a
very
Bill
well
O'Brien.
may be it.
Yeah, because I don't remember him being horrible ever before.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, so do I move on to the last divisional game?
Yes.
All right, Green Bay bringing in Seattle.
Didn't even watch it, not going to lie.
Well, we watched. Yes, you
did.
did.
Oh, yeah, we did. Shit.
We watched it together.
I forgot about it. I'm on my 11th hour of work/school/podcast today, so Oh, wait. What time is it?
9:30.
Make that 12 and a half hours.
All right.
So the bringing it on.
I know Jake was not thrilled with the outcome of this game.
I was not at all.
Green Bay got up 21-3. I think that was the halftime score.
It was.
It was just too much for Seattle to overcome. It
Plus
finishes
a
28.
great spot on the last fourth down.
We can fine. Let's get into that. I mean,
all right. I have a picture.
We don't need a picture.
I think we do need a picture.
Okay, but here's...
Well, Jake, it's not like the listeners can see the picture on your
phone.
phone.
No, I know, but I need Zach to see the picture.
I've seen the picture. It's pretty much the equivalent of the Ohio State-Michigan game when J.T. Barrett...
It doesn't really matter what's in the picture because the argument is...
My argument is okay, here's... All right, I'm not going to do the whole ref thing at this moment because I don't think that's the bigger point. I think if they punt the ball there, let's say they call it a 4th and 1, or maybe they go for it. I think if they punt it, I don't think Seattle gets a touchdown. I don't think they win.
I'm not so sure either. Cold weather game. In the hardest place other than... if that game was in Seattle, I think Seattle would have won it. But,
I think so.
Those are the two biggest home field advantages in football, playing head-to-head. But
I agree it was short. That the controversial, I think it was like a 3rd and 10, and they got 9 or technically 10 yards out of it. Should have called it short. I don't think it was as egregious as everyone is making it out to be. It's a very bang play.
it was a bad call that ended the game. At the end of the day,
Okay,
it was a bad call by the referees that ended the game.
but I believe Seattle put them in in position to do that when you fall behind 21-3.
Yes, and that is an argument. But good games aren't blowouts. Good games are comebacks. Good games are neck and neck
This
the
was
whole
a comeback,
way through.
technically, I guess.
Yeah, it was.
They're close games, right down to the wire, and I don't see the argument of, well, just
Play better.
blow out a professional sports
Well, that's
team
not
in
what
the
I've
divisional
argued
round.
in the past.
Well, Jake,
It's
I don't
pretty close.
necessarily agree that all.
Where is Matt? God damn it! He was supposed to be here. He was
So
my.
he's your backup for this argument.
Yeah,
I don't agree,
0-2.
Jake, that all blowouts are boring.
I think the majority of them are. I mean, but the argument is that
Well, the one sport that I find that blowouts. I'm not gonna talk about the sport very much, but the one sport that blowouts are are more effective. Excuse
ping
me.
pong, motherfucker.
Is baseball. It's baseball. That's because
Oh well, that's a lot
That's-
of fun because
yes.
it's just homers and any sort of action in baseball is good because it's baseball.
yes, but
I'm
blowout.
gonna get hate for this, but
Yes, but because most
Baseball is
because
kinda-
because the shutout in baseball is usually credited a lot to the pitcher. So that's kind of like the catcher, maybe the defense, but it's kind of like a two-man show in a shutout. So
yeah,
I
but
mean-
but in football, the shutout is just it's. You don't get that much entertainment from it. The only way it's a good game is if it's actually close.
well, I still
And-
disagree
and
in
that's the
football
thing.
because if a team gets shut out, but it's still a close game, like it's a 10-0 victory or 7-0 victory, they can still be entertaining if it's like if there's fumble
I meant
recoveries.
blowout.
Okay,
Blowout,
so
not close.
so
35 to
35
0.
nothing, right?
Oh, God.
That can still be entertaining.
24 to 0 in the first half, like something crazy like that. You know what I'm...
But back to the all right. The games I've brought up to you in the past, Jake,
All right.
about playing better than the refs, was okay. Earlier this year, the Lions lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Which was
It was
17-point swing.
I don't know where you get 17 from because
I don't either. It's been
But here's the deal:
17
the Lions kicked 4
16
field
weeks.
goals.
Yeah.
2 of which they were at the goal line for.
Yes.
That all right. That's 8 points, right
Yeah.
there.
All right.
So the idea that the refs cost them
That-
now.
Okay, 17 minus 8 is 9.
Where do you get 17 from?
I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch. When I
Hang
did
on.
the math at the time,
Hang
it was
on.
17.
Well, it was 2 Phantom face masks. I get it.
Which
I- the-
is
the
accountable
Packers
for
sca-
10, and then there was
The Packers scored a field goal and
there was a bad PI on a bad missed PI on
wait.
offensive there was a missed offensive PI on Darius Slay, like committed against Darius Slay, that gave the Packers a touchdown, making that a 17-point swing. That's how it went down. 17-point swing. The point that game should have went to the Lions. I mean, granted, knowing what we know now, that's probably a bad argument because the Lions are absolute garbage for the rest of the year. But when it comes down to it, that's a professional team on the other side of the ball.
I'm not arguing against that.
You can't just. I mean,
you get
and
beat by
if you're gonna
kicking field
be
goals.
giving up, if you're gonna just give the other team 17 points, like, and even if you're just giving them 3 at the end of the game when it's down to the wire and the game ends because a ref misses a blatant, pass interference, whatever. Say what, like, you can say what you want with they should have just been better than getting into that situation, but you lose ratings because of that, because that's how you miss a clean, good ending to a football game.
because the ending wasn't clean and good.
For the Lions game?
I don't know. Just check that. They kicked 5 field goals, not 4.
Well, okay.
Just saying.
End of the game right now is currently a controversial call.
But that's
right.
Okay. That's a little different, but I will play along. Yeah, sure.
Wait, are we talking?
Well, like for the
We're
example.
talking Seattle.
Sure. Yeah. Let's go back
Seattle.
to
All right.
it back to Seattle. Seattle, Green Bay.
Okay, so the current ending to the game right now is controversial. Photo evidence, bad call.
Right.
Photo evidence, that is not a good call. That was a bad spot.
Okay.
That is the end of that game.
Correct.
That is a playoff game.
Correct.
End of it. Put it in the notes. Bad call.
But I don't think it's egregious.
Now let's say that call is made correct.
Okay.
You get one of 3 options for the end of that game.
Yes.
Packers convert on 4th down.
Yep.
Packers
Punt.
hold the Seahawks out of the end zone.
Right.
Seahawks make a game-winning drive.
Right.
Any one of those, great ending to a game. But instead you get shitty spot. You lose ratings. You lose fans.
I don't know how many fans
Maybe
are
not
actually
fans,
losing
but
on that.
maybe not fans, but you're going to lose ratings.
How?
It's up to probability to say when the call would happen. Like, something happened that the ref saw. It just happened to be at the end of the game.
Yeah, but it ended the game. Like,
Yeah, but it shouldn't be picky because it's at the end of the game.
yeah, you should, because they
because
should
you
be
should-
that should be going up to a booth
the
somewhere.
whole way through the game. It shouldn't be special because there's like 5 minutes left. There should.
Well, yeah, but you shouldn't be. These are professional referees. They shouldn't be. Okay, first of all, they should be working full time, because they're part-time employees right now. But second, they shouldn't. In the most, I don't know, what is the NFL out of businesses in the country? It's got to be top 20, top 30,
I would think so.
something in that area.
Yeah. TV
First of all, they
deals,
can't hire. How many referees do they have? 100, maybe.
Maybe.
Full time.
Oh, I mean.
Secondly, they can't give them good enough training.
Yeah, but you're letting the players off the
So
hook
far,
in this
we have
instance.
2 games that have ended on controversial calls.
In the playoffs?
2 in the playoffs.
Oh,
alone.
you're all right. Yeah. Well.
Yes, I'm counting the New Orleans
Yes.
Saints missed pass interference.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
2 games. That's 2 games that are in the books. Why did that end? Bad call. Missed penalty.
But you don't hold the players accountable either, or the coaches or anyone else for the loss.
I hold them accountable, but I'm still going to hold the refs and the poor NFL accountable, because the end of that game, because of that call, is bad call, not goal line stand, not comeback win by Drew Brees. It's missed offensive pass interference.
Oh Lord! All right, I'm gonna.
And it was such a good setup. Just looking at the storyline throughout the entire game, you're in overtime.
Drew Brees played like crap.
When they should have played
Who gives
Teddy
a shit?
Bridgewater to begin with.
You're in overtime with the New Orleans
They should
Saints.
have. You don't look at me like that. They should have played Teddy Bridgewater.
Why? Because Drew Brees finished the season great.
When Teddy Bridgewater went 9-1 in 10 games.
Or how about 5-0? But a little bit of difference.
Potato.
Yeah.
You get Drew Brees in overtime in the playoffs, and instead of comeback victory or goal line stand,
Yeah, but I
it
don't
ends
think
with
Drew Brees would have
bad
played well
call.
in overtime. He didn't play well the first 4 quarters.
Yeah, who cares? Then you get defensive stand to be the end of the game
All right.
instead of
let's wrap up.
bad offensive.
Yeah, let's just wrap up Green Bay, Seattle. For Green Bay, it was the Devontae Adams show. Yeah, they don't got much else. Aaron
I hate all
Jones
of
couldn't
them.
really get much going.
I hate everyone that
Russell.
wears green and yellow. Not even Packers. I don't like anyone that wears green and yellow.
And for
Specifically,
Seattle,
those 2 colors combined.
Yes. No, just green. Or just yellow.
All right. Well, Zach here is a State fan, so you gotta hate Zach now.
Yeah.
but Seattle's rushing attack for the second straight week was garbage. Russell Wilson had 60 rush yards. The next leading rusher had 20, which was Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay, you got to figure out some sort of offensive scheme so you don't get absolutely crushed next week. I also take huge issue with Pete Carroll not going for it late in the game when it's fourth and manageable and you're down 5. Didn't understand that. There was only like 3.5 minutes left. You don't go for it. You're near midfield, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? You have Russell Wilson? I don't know. I thought it was a little dumb.
What was the yardage on that one? Fourth and...
I think it was like 4th and 6 comes to mind. 4th and 5.
4th and 6, because with 4 minutes left, I at least understand the call. I don't know.
Well, I think I may be getting this wrong. I think it was 3rd and 5, and then Russell got sacked.
4th and 10?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't.
It was like 4th and 11. Yeah, I may be messing that up. But I think in my head, what I'm getting confused is if they didn't get it, I would have gone for it on 4th and 5. Because it was
4th
a
and
pass.
5. Yeah, I personally would have. I would understand the call to punt it, especially with 4 minutes left in the game.
Yeah.
How many timeouts they have?
They had to.
I think they had
had to
two.
burn one in the 3rd quarter, so I think they had 2.
I think they had 2. Yeah. So.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything about that?
I'm good on that.
All right. Well, here let's conference championship weekend. Let's go San Francisco, bringing in Green Bay. Any big thoughts from you guys on it? I know we have me and Justin have a disagreement on how this is going to play out.
San Fran will smack the Packers. That is not even my hatred of the Packers talking. San Fran has a better roster. It's in San Francisco, across the country. San Francisco actually has a fan base. Not saying the Packers don't, but
I think they're like the Chicago Cubs fans. They'll all come out when the team's good, but when they're not.
yeah, because it's in San Francisco. But
So what does that
San
mean?
Francisco's just not full of football fans. But either way,
Neither's LA.
neither is California as a state.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Except Oakland, I guess.
yeah, well, Oakland's loaded, but
Or Las Vegas, I should say now.
Oh. Yeah, they took away the one sports team with a fan base in California.
What a joke.
The baseball sports fans are
the one with the best
fairly
fan
large.
base.
But
I think reasons, no.
I think me and Jake believe San Fran will rock.
Yeah, I don't
Green
think
Bay.
the Packers will.
I disagree because, words. Aaron Rodgers has proved that he can dismantle great defenses because he is an elite Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, and he has proven that he can find his receivers and he can look downfield and know when he needs to scramble out and get some yards and find something. And I feel like he is going to take that San Francisco defense and tear it apart.
They did almost lose to a corpse last week, though.
And who?
Seattle's a very injured team.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yes, but Russell Wilson exists.
Now
Russell Wilson does exist. Not going to argue that.
Here's my question. Who's he going to throw to? Because Richard Sherman's going to most likely lock up Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested to see who is he going to find.
He's going to find anybody he can.
I'm
feel like
not-
He's
Aaron
got the
Rodgers
best defensive line
Aaron
in his
Rodgers
face, by the
is
way.
one of the best quarterbacks in the league, which is unarguable.
Right.
And he, in my opinion, he is good enough where he can find his receivers in a spot where the receiver doesn't have to do anything but follow the route. And Aaron Rodgers can put the ball in a spot where the defender can't touch it whatsoever. The receiver makes a great reception, and then the play's over, or because he gets tackled, or the play goes on, he runs or whatever.
Play's over.
But I feel like Aaron Rodgers has proven that he can take care of elite defenses, and I'm very sure that he can take care of the San Francisco elite defense.
So you think he wins?
Yes, I think Green Bay wins that game.
Here's my thing. He's not going to have time to breathe.
take.
He's not going to have time to breathe, let alone throw a
doesn't need
football.
it.
What do you mean he does? Every
Everyone
quarterback
needs
needs
it.
some time.
A little time, yes.
He's not going
He's
to.
not
going
gonna-
against.
he doesn't need anything.
He's going against the best D line in football. His O line has been hurt and shaky all year.
He doesn't need more than 5 seconds in the pocket.
He won't get 5 seconds.
He'll get maybe
That's
2
fine.
to 3 maximum.
He's going.
Which he can find something.
And here's the other problem: San Francisco doesn't need to blitz. They just send 4 people at you, and they always get to you. That's a
With
problem.
Richard Sherman as a lockdown quarterback.
Corner
and
back.
I said
and their
corner, it just came
linebackers
out
are
quarter
severely
because I'm
underrated.
kinda
They got
excited
Quan
about it.
Alexander back last week. This will be very interesting because we can track this a little bit because here's my other question: how do they stop Jimmy G?
Jimmy Garoppolo, excuse me.
Yeah.
No, the other Jimmy G.
Jimmy Graham, yes.
Yeah.
Wait, he's
On-
not on the Niners.
He's on the Packers.
He's on the Packers.
Yeah.
But,
Or
but how,
Green
how,
Bay.
how,
Whatever, it was
how
stupid. It was a
does
stupid.
Green Bay's
Yeah.
flawed defense stop the running attack of San Francisco
Oh.
or Jimmy Garoppolo?
By
I really
the way,
want to hear
Justin,
this.
he's on Green Bay, not the Packers.
Green Bay.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Yes, and
we'll
you
let it
also.
slide.
Because
I know. I'm curious. I mean, because if the Vikings defense, who's better than the Packers defense, couldn't.
Green Bay, not the Packers.
and
Sorry.
Minnesota.
Sorry.
Copyright law, we apologize.
Yeah.
So if we get to a point, like you can just like pause for a second and be like, oh, we're setting, and then just continue.
All right. How do they stop San Francisco's offense?
In my opinion, they don't. I just feel like Green Bay's
okay.
offense
All right.
will be enough where if Green Bay can score faster and more often than San Francisco,
But
and
here's the
San
issue.
Francisco takes their time too much, then Green Bay will get out earlier, stay out, and then San Francisco won't have enough time to make a comeback. And I think Green Bay wins by 10.
Okay, hang
Well,
on.
here's-
Hang on.
whoa.
We're writing this. we're writing
Shit.
this
I
You
think
down.
can't
Green Bay
just-
wins by 10.
By 10.
By 10.
By 10. Okay, so.
10. No more, but 10.
All right, okay, let's talk about this. Let's
Jeez.
break this down. Here's the thing. So, we got two good defenses.
Yes.
We do.
Aaron Jones is good. He's a good running back.
I mean,
He's a great running
two great offenses.
I meant to say offenses. I don't know why.
Great
defense-
offense. Well,
We are moving on to my 13th straight hour of doing shit.
Well,
so,
alright.
the brain's going. But anyway, good offense.
yeah.
Yes.
Here's the main difference is in the defense. San Francisco has a good defense. Green Bay's defense just has a problem.
Has lots of problems.
They can't cover wide receivers, by the way.
I don't even know. It was just the title of a YouTube video that I saw, but that I meant to watch before this, so I'd have better points. But I mean,
I don't know.
let's
Although I
be
feel like
Green,
I have
Green
the
Bay's
ultimate
defense.
retort to this.
Green
It's
Bay's
Aaron
defense.
Rodgers, who has proven time and time again that he can pick apart elite defenses, no matter who his receivers are. If he can find the receiver, he can throw the ball right to the receiver, straight through the defense, like a hot knife through butter. It's not a question. You can look at what he's done before. You can look at some elite defenses that he's torn apart in
Right.
the past,
Justin, do you like
especially
Deshaun
in the
Watson?
playoffs.
But it's also not an argument how bad his defense is and that he won't have time to throw.
Are you a Deshaun Watson fan?
I like Deshaun Watson
Do you think he's about as good as Aaron Rodgers is in this right now?
right now.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
All right. Okay, we got.
I
some,
feel like
we got some differences here. All right.
I feel like Deshaun Watson has better weapons, especially with the fact that he has DeAndre Hopkins, and his receivers are still very solid.
the point I'm trying to make
I
it is.
I feel like even more
Okay, so
historically.
Deshaun Watson has weapons. Do you think, given that they're about the same?
Given the fact that theoretically, if Houston had weapons for Deshaun Watson and Green Bay had no weapons for Aaron Rodgers, they're even then. At Green Bay, they'd be even.
We've gone so off track. I forgot my
All
point.
right,
was.
so
I was ready to
So
drop a bomb on you,
here's
but-
my other issue with this. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, no, it doesn't matter.
Go ahead.
Do you know Aaron Rodgers' record in conference championship games?
I do not.
He is 1-2. The one win was against the Jay Cutler. Oops, I'm hurt. Now we're gonna have Caleb Haney come in and try and win us this conference championship. So his losses were at Seattle, where they
Hardest
had a
place to play in
16-0 lead, blew it in overtime.
Which I don't blame on Aaron Rodgers. I blame that on the defense. If the defense
Well,
cracked
the
under
defense
pressure
this
to
week is a-
Seattle, if the defense cracked
But
under
they
pressure,
didn't score. They only scored a field goal the rest of the way.
The defense isn't going to be
okay.
any
That was
better
also
this
one of
week.
the best defenses in the history of the NFL.
Correct.
And Aaron Rodgers still put up 16 points against them in the first half.
No. That was through. I don't know, but that's not a lot of points though.
Against
New
the
England
best,
scored
against one of the
28
best
against
defenses
them.
in the history of the NFL. 16 points
That's
in the
not
first
a lot.
half. In the first half.
No, that was not. I don't know if that was halftime score, but that's still not a lot of points.
Wait, hold on.
So, and then the other loss was to the Falcons that went on to win the Super Bowl, or it's Atlanta that went on to win the Super Bowl.
You mean runner-up?
Or I'm sorry,
to New England?
should have won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
And this is actually the scenario that you're painting now. That was
that
leading
Atlanta
into
team had one of the best offenses in the history of the league. Again.
Yeah, but that's what you're arguing here. Atlanta's defense wasn't super. It's the same. It's the same argument that you're saying should happen here.
Yes.
Because San Francisco's offense is really good.
All right, we're at 55 minutes. Let's move on to this next.
All right, here, last conference title game. Kansas City brings in Tennessee. I think. Excuse me. I think it's another blowout. I think both these games are blowouts. I think Kansas City wins.
I think Kansas City wins.
I think they get a late score and makes it a blowout.
I agree with Zach on this one.
I think I give Kansas City a 4 to 5 odds to win this game. I think they win. I think they.
How does Tennessee score more than 20 points?
Derrick Henry. Well, here's the issue: is
how do you expect the Tennessee defense to stop Patrick Mahomes and that incredible?
Well, they won't
I don't
stop
think
him. They'd
they
have
will.
to slow him down.
They're not going to slow him down. They're not going to come close.
I think they're going to slow him down.
Then
I don't think they're going to. I don't think. Okay, let me rephrase that. I
feel like Kansas City has at least 30 points by the end of the game.
I don't think
Not even
Patrick
close.
Mahomes. I don't think they
Right.
stop Patrick Mahomes. Okay, I don't think
So
they
you're-
do much to
So
stop
you're
Patrick.
relying on the fact that you need the offense to outscore Patrick
Or
Mahomes late.
Here's my issue.
they would outpossess him
Now let's
if they give
see.
Derrick Henry almost
Let's
30
see
carries.
which- Yes, they will. Okay,
All right, let's see. I want to hear
which-
Jake's.
which defense would you rather be on? The one that has to stop Patrick Mahomes, or would you rather be on the one that has to stop Derrick Henry?
Mahomes.
If you enjoy having,
I'd want to stop Mahomes.
Yeah.
I'd rather be on the one that
you
want
want to die because that's what's going to happen when you try to stop Derrick Henry.
from exhaustion
You're
from
gonna
trying to
hit. You're going to get hit over and over
Yeah.
again with Derrick
And-
Henry,
yeah.
and he's just going to keep on going. Derrick Henry is also going to keep the Titans with the ball for a much longer time than Patrick
Tennessee.
Mahomes is. And
Because they're running the
don't
ball
get me
and
wrong,
trading the clock.
Patrick Mahomes is my favorite quarterback in the league, but when he gets the ball, it's in the end zone in 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's not long
If you want a
sustained. It's not
defense to
long
get
sustained
tired,
drives.
Put the ball in the end
He
zone.
doesn't need the defense to get tired. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Who can?
But
Everybody
there
makes
is
mistakes.
apart.
there is a
He doesn't need
formula.
them to be tired.
There is a formula that was used to beat the Chiefs, and it was ironically against 3 AFC South teams beat them in the regular season: Colts, Texans, Indianapolis, Houston, and Tennessee. Indianapolis outpossessed the Chiefs by almost 30 minutes. Houston almost outpossessed Kansas City by 30 minutes. There is a game plan. You run the ball. You keep Mahomes on the sideline. That's how your defense does not get shredded. I do think.
I still don't argue how you think Tennessee can win this game.
Well, I don't think that's the argument. I
But
think he's arguing
I
they
didn't
can keep
think
it
Tennessee
close.
could beat the Patriots. I didn't think
New England.
Tennessee could beat New England. I didn't think that Tennessee could beat Baltimore.
Yeah, that was.
I'm not making the same mistake 3 times. I thought Baltimore was a better team than Kansas City, and they beat the hell out of Baltimore. I'm not counting them out of this. Do I think they're gonna win? Not
No.
necessarily. I
I-
think they definitely have a chance. I wouldn't bet on them. I wouldn't bet against them.
Our producer's
Uh,
giving us point spreads. Tennessee +7. Then he's got the same thing. Kansas City's favored by 7. Oh, and he's got. Is this money bet or money bet on
I
each
think
side?
that's the percentage of them winning.
Ah.
No,
Tennessee.
Nah.
Now I'm gonna pull up Green Bay.
Because what?
So And then, San Francisco's favored by 7.5. I don't know.
like
It should
that
be
one.
very fun couple games. I think they both might end up being blowouts.
I feel like it's going to be a Green Bay, Kansas City Super Bowl.
Hey, listen, as long as it's not Tennessee,
I see.
I could really do without Tennessee
I
in the
wouldn't
Super
even
Bowl.
be mad with a Tennessee Super Bowl.
I just don't think.
You
I
would be
think.
mad with the Green Bay Super Bowl.
I would hate a Green Bay Super Bowl, but
Which-
I don't think I
which
have to
means
worry
if
about
it,
that
if it's
much.
what I predict, a Green Bay, Kansas City Super Bowl.
I'd be rooting for. I will fly out to Kansas City to watch a game in one of their bars with their fans because I am joining that fan club if they can stop the Packers from getting another Super Bowl. For the love of God, if Aaron Rodgers gets another ring, I'm gonna jump off of a building. I
I
not
really
want
don't
to
think
see
you have
it.
to worry about it.
I don't either.
See, I don't have
I
that
do not
problem
like the
because I don't
Packers.
support the Lions.
I
Or
don't
Detroit.
support. I don't necessarily
Well,
support the Lions anymore.
I have a
but the
scenario
hatred
for
the,
you.
The hatred for the Packers has stuck with me.
Or Green Bay. But I have a scenario for you. Let's say it's San Francisco, Kansas City. Who do you like to win?
San Francisco. I give that
That's what makes a good Super Bowl. I have no idea.
Or
because that's going to be an offensive shootout because Pat Mahomes is kind of like Rodgers, being the fact that they can tear apart great defenses. And they've shown that they can both tear apart great defenses.
I think that is the most likely Super Bowl matchup.
I do too.
What I definitely do not want to see is Green Bay, Tennessee. Because that reeks of last year's Super Bowl reincarnated. Because both teams like to run the ball and it'd be lower scoring.
I feel like the best one would be San Francisco, Kansas City, but
I
I
agree.
think it's going to be Green.
Well,
I
you know
feel like
what?
it'll still be a
You know what? Here, we should watch the game together then.
I agree.
Yeah, come on over.
Because
Shit, I might be working.
all right.
I'm gonna be
All
working
right.
from 10 to 6.
So,
but if it's
anybody
a-
else have any other further thoughts? I know maybe we can do this next time. This may not even be a good topic, but looking at each franchise who made the next good coaching head coaching hire.
Let's just say this because we're in Michigan. If you're gonna hire a secondary coach to be your defensive coordinator, for the love of God, pick a good secondary. Pick a good secondary. Don't
Well,
pick the worst one
that's-
in the NFL just because he's your buddy. This is going out to you, Patricia.
But
I know
the
this is
former defensive
gonna
coordinator was
have-
his friend
there-
too.
There's not a chance that Patricia or anybody of importance will ever hear this message, but for the love of God, quit hiring your buddies and hire people who know how to coach a football team.
Hey,
your
Mark
buddies
D'Antonio,
don't.
this goes to you too.
You
Yeah.
Say that.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Pick-
Houston's-
Who, Ohio State?
Oh, I thought you said Mike D'Antoni. Excuse me.
He did.
Mark D'Antonio.
No,
Quit
no, no.
hiring
Mike
your friends.
Mike D'Antoni is
Quit hiring your
is
friends.
the coach of the NBA Houston
and
team.
actually try and win some stuff like you did before. All right, so that's going to do it for episode 1 of Why Would You Think That? Thanks for listening, and do us a favor. If you like what you hear, tell a friend about us. Subscribe to whatever format we decide to choose, and thanks for listening.